Is it inform it, call it, decide? How do we pronounce words that end in ed in English? By the end of this video, you'll know the rules to help you pronounce ed at the end of the words correctly every time. And as a very special bonus, I have a free ebook and audio version packed with ideas for you to implement in your English learning so that you can set your own goals, monitor your progress, and see for yourself how your English improves substantially with just a few simple strategies that you can put into place easily today. If we've never met before, I'm Tanya Meyer, your English teacher at the English Practice Center on Facebook. And on this channel, I share interesting topics and simple techniques to help you understand how English works, so you can speak it more fluently and confidently. If you're new here, please subscribe and click that notification button to get notified every time I upload new content. Just very quickly, write a quick comment below letting me know what your biggest struggle with English speaking is so that I can address your needs in my next videos. Right, so if you have trouble pronouncing those pesky ed endings at the end of words, I've worked with thousands of students over the years, helping them improve their English skills, and now it's your turn. Okay, what kind of words end in ed in English? Well, we know that all regular verbs in the past end in ed, like played and worked, and all of their past participles also. So whether we're speaking in the past simple, the present, or the past perfect, with regular verbs, they're all going to end in ed. But also some adjectives, like interested and bored and excited and so on. So that's a lot of words. And how do we pronounce them? Well, perhaps the confusion is in the fact that there are three ways of pronouncing ed endings. Why? Why are there three ways? Well, because physically, mechanically, it's almost impossible, or let's say it's uncomfortable, to pronounce some words by just doing what we want to do, which is the first way. We just want to add a d sound to the end of the word. Even though we're adding ed, the sound is d that we want to add, like in the case of played. Now, I just want to say that the first one, which is the d sound, is what we want to add to all words that end in ed, but we can't. Let's see. These are the voiced consonant sounds of English, and they're called voiced because if you pronounce them with your hand on your throat here, you'll get a vibration. B, D, J, G, V, th, Z, J, and so on. If you pronounce each of these sounds, you will feel a vibration in your throat. So what we're looking at is the end of the word before adding ed. And in the case where the end of the word before adding ed is voiced, which is the case most times because also all vowel sounds are voiced, then we simply add a d sound at the end. So if the word ends in b, if the verb in this case ends in b, then we just add d, scrubbed. If it ends in j, we add d, arranged. If it ends in g, we add d, shrugged, and so on. Lived, bathed, squeezed, filmed, cleaned, belonged, pulled, cared, overflowed, played. All of these, we just add d. Notice that d is in red here, and you'll see why in a moment. Sometimes, though, we cannot add d to the end of the word as we would like because the end of the word is voiceless. You can see here that there are far fewer consonant sounds that are voiceless. That means that when you pronounce them, p, ch, k, f, There's no vibration in your throat. So with these consonant sounds, it's much more difficult to add a d sound. It's much easier to add a t sound. But we don't modify the word in any way other than to add this t sound at the end. So stop becomes stopped. Branch becomes branched. Picked, laughed, noticed, and wished. I cannot think of a word that ends in this voiceless th sound. There are several that end in the voiced v sound, like bathed, which we saw before. But anyway, so you can see that there are actually few consonants that are voiceless before adding ed to the verb. So the third way of pronouncing ed at the end of a word happens when the word already ends in d, which is voiced, or t, which is voiceless. In that case, when the word already finishes in d or t before adding ed, then we need to add a whole syllable to the end of the word. So if the word ends in d, like need, plus id becomes needed. And if the word finishes in t, like want, plus id becomes wanted. So what you have to look for really is whether the sound at the end of the word is already d or t. In that case, you're going to add a new syllable. If not, don't really worry. All you need to do is add the d or t sound at the end, but it'll come instinctively because it's very difficult to say, for example, worked. It's just easier to say worked. The important thing is that we don't say worked or played or informed, because k, y, and are not d or t, so we're not going to add a syllable to those words. It'll be worked, played, informed. And we only add a syllable in this case. Okay, hope you found that helpful. Many more videos on pronunciation and English in general coming soon. But if you're serious about becoming fluent and confident in English, make sure you pick up a version of my ebook, 5-Step Guide to Transform Your English, which you can click on down here, or you can pick up from the description box below the video. Also, make sure you join the English Practice Center on Facebook, where I post weekly tasks for you to record yourself answering the task, but also commenting and interacting with the other members in the group. Remember, it's a private group, so everybody in there is super supportive, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Remember to like and subscribe. People keep telling me, you must say this, you must say this. You must ask people who watch your videos to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. So make sure you do that. And comment below on what you'd like to see more videos on. Until next time.